Well, good morning, my garden friends. Today is worm cleaning day, which is always a happy, sad day for me because I'm pooped after I clean it, but poop is what we have, so that's a happy day. So it occurred to me that I've shown you this a few times. I've done a few videos on these worm bins, and this is from Tumbleweed in Australia, New Zealand, one of the two. And it's, what a company. I mean, they have, I was looking them up the other day, and since I think it was 1996, so they've been in business for 25 years, and they've sold almost a million of these worm bins of some type. Not necessarily this one, because this one I've had since 2009, so I think they have, what they call the new and improved model, but personally I like the old and original. Now, this is the base of it. The legs come off, and so does the spigot, although you sure wouldn't want that spigot to come off because it's an on, you turn it one way and it flows, and you turn it the other way, and it's just kind of like a what do they call it, a ball and something underneath that the ball turns it off. But as you can see, it is full of castings, and these are still kind of moist castings. But this is all, I'm going to take it off without disturbing too many people, little wormy people. But you can see those are air holes. And so you really want to kind of keep those. This has been about 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks since I cleaned the last time. And so it would be difficult to get in here and have to clean these each time. I'm not quite sure. You can see there's a little worm. Nice size worm. That's a red wiggler. And all of this will produce, I'll make it behind it. See all my worms. And it's a little crusty. It's a little crusty in here. Not really enough, but a little crusty. And sorry guys. But anyway, this is the bottom of it. This is the base. And I have this sitting in right off from my kitchen. And there is no smell to this. This is like I just opened a bag of potting soil, and you have a kind of a fresh smell, but actually less, because I don't smell anything. So then moving over here, this is actually what would be the bottom bin. This fits right on top of that well, and so this hasn't been taken up for a while. And what I do is I'll take my castings and I will just scrape along here, and as I scrape along, you can see it just comes off almost like, I'm trying to see it and do it as you see that there's no worms in there, because I've given this about an hour being out here in the light. Now, worms have no eyes. They can't see, but they are light sensitive. I find that amazing. And so as soon as I uncover them and bring them out here, then they dive. They go down. Although when they're in this area, I think they're just kind of like at the bottom, kind of hanging out in the castings and, dancing back and forth, and maybe, humming a tune or something like that. So, because they don't know the words, that's why. Anyway, moving right along. This is the bottom bin. Then this is the second one. This is the one that stays in the center. And you can still see that there's still a little bit of stuff on top here. And I'm going to try and see what it would be. I think it's just a little bit of cardboard. It seems to me like the last time I did this, as I was putting them back, this one, of course, went on the bottom. It had been in the middle, and then this is the one that had been on the top. And so when I was ready to put the clean one, which was this one, which is now full, when I was ready to put that one on top of here, it would have been almost empty. except for a little bit of cardboard at the bottom. I just put a few pieces of cardboard, just, you know, like some toilet paper rolls or something in there, just to see what would happen. You know, so it would have like cardboard here, and then this rubberized plastic, whatever it is. It feels like plastic. And then there would be cardboard underneath that, and so that the worms have a way of just kind of like catching on and, you know, hanging on and getting up to the next section, because this is full of holes. So anyway, I wanted to show you this before I start. I normally show you when I'm about halfway through, and for those of you who have already have your worm bins and you're just looking at how somebody else does theirs, that's what I want to show you today. And again, I'll make this very short, is that I kind of scrape off. I have gloves on when I'm doing it, and I, you know, take little scrapings off, and I kind of like look through it, and then it gets deposited in here. And today, and of course it's fluffier, you know, it's kind of, I still have two that are left from last month, and I need to use these. We had a lot of rain and we had a lot of stuff going on, and then I really didn't. There's probably a few worms still left in there, and I will make sure that these guys get added back into the main, into that one, as a matter of fact. So I will get probably 1, 2, 3, 4, and as I'm going through them, if I find a worm, or when I find a worm, because I know I'm going to, then I just kind of like keep them all in the lid. And at the end, when I'm finished, and I flip this over, oh my goodness, I'll have probably 6-8 ounces of worms that get put right back on top of this one, and they can just, you know, do their magic and work their way down. And a lot of the times, if I get not only harvest just about everything out of there, but I will get a couple from here, or at least one from here, and then I will take, you know, I'll kind of like turn this over and take the stuff at the bottom that's almost pre-digested, and I'll add that on top of here, and then this will become the bottom, and this will become the middle, and then the one that I'm going to clean out, which is that one, will be bare and clean and washed. I like to wash my tubs out. I think that's important. I think it's important to keep them clean. I know everybody talks about the mycorrhizal fungi and all the good things that has to do with it, but I think the worms, even though they eat well, they don't actually eat the bacteria. Yes, they do. I'm arguing with myself. They don't actually eat all these scraps, but they eat the bacteria that's forming on the rotting food scraps, and then that goes through their system, and then that becomes the castings. So as I learn something new each day, I try to pass it on to you, and I hope you will study this and learn more as you go along. That's about it. I'm going to proceed now and get my job done, and hopefully in a couple hours I will have lots of worm castings, and then I am going to go out into the garden. And the way I do mine is I take my nice watering can and I take the top off, because the worm castings can't get through there, and I will put worm castings, maybe about a couple spades full, you know, maybe close to a cup, and I'll fill that with rainwater, swish it about, and then I do a nice topical dressing on all of my plants. And what is amazing, I just find it amazing, is that the next day everybody looks like they've grown a half an inch or 3/4 of an inch or an inch. You know, you kind of go, wow, it's just, what could be in that stuff? But We know it's in that stuff, all kinds of good natural things. So anyway, I hope you all will garden what you've got and get out, whether it's to your balcony or whether it's to your yard or whether it's to your acreage, and enjoy what you have. And please come back and see me again. If you like my channel, please subscribe. And if you wish to ring the bell, you'll get notifications and I can come back and see you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.